A blessed day to everyone. I am Olive Jimenez, and together with my groupmates Denise, Alyana, Lapid, Moira, Jimyena, Noriega, and Patricia Jean Tuñgol, we are here to present our proposal for the redevelopment of municipality of Dinalupihan as complement for Bataan urbanization, a study of Bataan communities to the adaptation of urban growth. For the background of this study, I call on Miss Patricia Tuñgol.
For background of the study, Bataan continuously grows to be a state of being urbanized. As time passes, the province constantly develops through implementing projects in various municipalities herein. Some of these projects comprise key infrastructures, ongoing PPP project, Bataan Manila Integrated Transportation System, AGT Monorail, and Bataan Cavite Interlink Bridge. In Bataan, the Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, has completed 3 road development projects that would provide travelers with safe, quick, and dependable travel. The ongoing PPP project is another development. This project entails the master planning, construction, and development of the capital compound into a complex that includes a government building, the bunker, 3 BPO buildings, 142 business hotel and commercial areas, as well as land development and landscaping, road and drainage networks and amenities, utilities, and other amenities for occupants, employees, and other general public. The Bataan Manila Integrated Transportation System, on the other hand, will greatly improve the linkage and access between Metro Manila and Bataan by allowing passengers and commodities to travel quickly, efficiently, safely, and effectively to and from Metro Manila in under 45 minutes. Following this is one of the recent projects in the province, the Filipino-made AGT Monorail. The AGT is an electric train and is fully automated driverless transit system or automatically steered. The DOST Philippines through the DOST MIRDC donated the two AGT coaches and its auxiliaries to BPSU main campus. Finally, the Bataan Cavite Interlink Bridge project is being developed by the DPWH and will be built on Manila Bay, Philippines, to reduce the travel time from Bataan to Cavite from 5 hours to 40 minutes. With this, more economic opportunities and investments can be gained by the province. And one of the municipalities included herein is the municipality of Dinalupihan, to which our group adopted for this proposal. To introduce the said municipality, may I call on Ms. Moira Noriega.
For the municipality background, Dinalupihan is a landlocked municipality located in Bataan's coastal province. According to legend, even when Dinalupihan was still a Hermosa barrio, its residents displayed a fighting spirit that helped them develop their community and defend themselves against alien invaders and local criminals. The area became known as Dinalupigan or not conquered because of its fierce fighting spirit. The name Dinalupigan stuck, but by chance, the letter G was mistakenly altered to H during the registration process. Dinalupian is the name given to the town with a fighting spirit. Its geographic location is located in northern tip of Bataan Peninsula, 21 kilometers from Balaha, which is the capital town. It is bounded on the north by Florida Blanca, Pampanga, on the east by Lubao, Pampanga, on the south by Hermosa, Bataan, and the west by Olongapo City. It is 36 kilometers away from the regional center, which is San Fernando, Pampanga. For its households and population, the total number of households is 23,167, and the total population is 106,371, according to the 2015 census of population. This population is distributed across 9,723 hectares of land, resulting in a population density of approximately 11 persons per hectare. 4.59 persons is also the advantage household size. The municipality's population is projected to grow annually at a rate of 1.94%, as seen in the table on the right. Population in 2017 is 110,538 and will reach a total of 150,323 in 2022. For its territorial jurisdiction and barangay subdivision, the municipality of Dinalupihan's total land area is 9,720 hectares, which accounts for 3.36% of the total land area of the province. It also has 46 barangays. The present the municipality's territorial environment, I call on Ms. Jimenez.
For topography and slope, Dinalupihan is located at 14.88 degrees north latitude, 120.46 degrees east latitude, and 34 meters above sea level. In the northern half, where cultivated areas are located, the slope is gradually sloping to undulating. There are areas of gently sloping to rolling land between the northern and southern edges, with a few isolated steep hills. On the right, you can see the Dinalupihan municipality slope map. For utilities and amenities, Digital and Bayantel are the major telephone companies servicing the town, while Radio Communications, Philippines Incorporation provide telegram and telegraph services. Penelco delivers the electricity and the Dinalupihan Water District distributes water. On the other hand, other areas use free-flowing pumps and deep wells. There are 8 banks, 7 schools, 3 hospitals or health facilities, and 4 recreational facilities and public market in the municipality. For its major industries, Dinalupihan specializes in the production of sawali and torch, as well as food processing and the creation of tinapa or smoked fish. Palay, sugarcane, corn, root crops, legumes, and fruits are among the town's agricultural products. Animal husbandry, as well as poultry and animals, is also a major source of income for the residents. As for its investment opportunities, Dinalupihan, which is emerging as one of the region's potential investment havens, is best suited for agri-industrial enterprises due to its strategic position and abundant agricultural product. To present the environmental issues in the community, I call on Ms. Denise Lapid.
Environmental issue in the community. There are 11 listed environmental issues in municipality of Dinalupihan. First, the present hazard, which include river posing danger during rainy days, occurrence of flooding, susceptibility of the agricultural sector of hazard, presence of residential dwelling along rivers and creek, as well as the private land and over extraction of groundwater. Second, there are no bicycle lanes. Third, unorganized road, a pedicab causing traffic. Fourth, the lack of street light, which result of road accident. Fifth is the makeshift toda along road that right of ways. Six, there are no proper setback on the property along the roads. Seven is the sidewalk being occupied by cars and tricycle. Eight is the lack of public parking. Nine is the difficult transportation on some areas. Then there are unused commercial building in common terminal. Lastly is an attractive plaza. These problems are given by the respondent of Dinalupihan from the survey we conducted. They also produce suggestion on how to eliminate this problem. The proponent used this to propose solution for the development of the municipality. To start the proposal, I call on Ms. Patricia Tuñgol.
Our proposal on the concept structure plan of the municipality of Dinalupihan is based on its CLUP. A concept structure plan is an indicative map showing location and distribution of land uses, existing and new, including designated growth within the boundaries of the planning area. From the two options, option 2 are the dispersed concentration urban form, is the most favored by community stakeholders. It relies on Dinalupihan's inherent assets and encourages expansion into underdeveloped parts of the municipality that are either free or constrained or have a low to moderate risk of flooding and landslides. The planned urban design best creates the circumstances of achieving Dinalupihan's long-term development vision. This is similar to the roadmap study of sustainable urban development in Metro Cebu. Red areas are dedicated for work growth center, blue areas are for play growth center, and green areas are for green buffer tourism. Next, our proposal is the road design in which the survey respondents desire to improve. There are 15 elements of road design that we're proposing. First is the welcome arc. From resident, only barangays have their welcome arc, but not the total community. A welcome arc plays an important role for it aids people to distinguish the place and gives a welcoming ambience to the public. The pictures below can be referenced for the proposed welcome arc. Next on the list are the bulb outs. According to Curb Extensions 2019, a curb extension is a traffic calming measure primarily used to extend the sidewalk, reducing the crossing distance and allowing pedestrians about to cross and approaching vehicle drivers to see each other when vehicles parked in the park lane would otherwise block visibility. Its ideal location is at the corners and mid-block. Third element is designated parking area. From the survey results, it is revealed that parking is the topmost concern by the respondents. Some vehicles just park on undesignated places because of lack of parking. With this, the road can be designed such that there are spaces of parking. The space between bug-outs should be treated as on-street parking zone. However, in situations when extra public space is needed from the street side, this space should be treated as a multi-utility zone. Here shows the detail of on-street parking for two-wheelers and four-wheelers, as well as a reference photo. Next is the bus stop environment. It constitutes to access for public from the bus shelter to the bus and necessary infrastructure required to facilitate the same. There should be a 3.5-meter wide footpath space to be maintained at all the bus shelter areas, whereas 1.8-meter clear-out obstructed walking space shall be provided behind the bus stop. In case the footpath width is insufficient, a simple pole and signage type of bus stop infrastructure can be used. Additionally, the holding area for bus stop shall be 15 meters and placed on the curbside lane. Here are some photos to visualize this proposal.
The fifth element is the clear walking zone. As mentioned in the problems earlier, sidewalks are being occupied by vehicles which are not supposed to. For this reason, the pedestrian zone or sidewalk must have a space for 4 persons or 1 wheelchair plus 2 persons to traverse comfortably. The National Building Code requires a 1.2 to 1.8 meter clear unobstructed with a minimum of 2 meter clear height. Curb ramps at pedestrian crossing are used to easy access for pedestrians and wheelchair users to the pedestrian crossing. This must be observed to ensure that even persons with disabilities can access it. The width of the curb ramps should not be less than 1.2 meters. Here shows the detail of curb ramps which can be adopted by the LGU. Next is the pedestrian crossing. They are designed to keep pedestrians together so they can be seen by motorists and can cross most safely across the flow of vehicular traffic. Within the range of 3.5 to 4.5 meters shall be its width. The spacing between two pedestrian crossings must be within the range of 80 meters to 250 meters. Tactile blocks for PWD shall also be applied. Seventh element is the speed humps at unsignalized pedestrian crossing. It is a ridge set at intervals in a road surface to control the speed of vehicles. Where there are existing speed humps, it must be painted such as that of the picture to aid those with poor eyesight. It shall be placed in advance of the unsignalized pedestrian crossing, forcing vehicles to slow before the pedestrian crossing and enhance the safety of pedestrians. Next is the pedestrian refuge area. It is a small section of pavement at median where pedestrians can stop before finishing crossing a road. 1 meter width shall be allocated for this to be maintained. Roads are not only for vehicles but also for pedestrians. That is why space or area for them shall be employed.
The 10th element is the median width. It refers to the width of the portion of divided road separating the travel lanes for traffic in opposite directions. This is important to divided lanes and avoid overtaking on prohibited areas. Next is the gap in median. It is given for vehicles to turn into the opposite travel lane. It should be in the range of 12 to 15 meters for vehicular U-turns and or right turns. This element also reduces traffic. The 12th element is the pedestrian guide rails. To avoid the vehicles occupying the sidewalk, this must be added to indiscriminate crossing and spilling over of pedestrian onto the carriageway. It shall be placed on junctions, bus stops, schools, accident-prone areas, and other high-volume generating areas. A minimum of 6 meters length is also recommended. Next are the bollards. Bollards are short posts used to prevent traffic from entering an area, stop vehicles from entering the footpath, and to keep pedestrians away from vehicular traffic. 100 millimeter diameter circular bollards should be recommended and placed at least 150 millimeters from the edge of the curb. Street lights are also demanded by the survey respondents because some areas in Dinalupihan lack these. Street lights help in illuminating the area and provide safety and security to the people, objects, and places that is dark, especially to urban areas. These shall be installed all throughout the roads, especially on highways.
The last element is the signages. This helps in identifying proper areas and rules in the road. While there are existing signages in the road, areas where there are no signages such as this are highly recommended to have one. First is the stop sign. That should be sighted 1.5 meter to 6 meters in advance to the stop line. This shall not be used at the intersection where traffic signals are installed. Second is the giveaway sign to be sighted 1.5 meter to 12 meter in advance of speed hump and side streets. Third is no parking sign. It should be erected within 25 meter of the start and the end of prohibition and to the place where parking is truly not allowed. Fourth is the caution sign that shall be placed 45 meter in advance of the hazard. Fifth is the hump ahead sign that should be located 40 meter in advance of the center of speed break. Six is the pedestrian crossing that should be erected in advance in both approaches to uncontrolled pedestrian crossing. Seven is the parking sign that should be set up parallel to the axis of the road ahead of the place where parking is authorized. Eight is the pick up and drop sign that should be erected where pedestrians are expected to wait. It is most used near education institution and public building. Lastly is the bus stop sign that should be erected at the place where the buses are designed to stop.
For the overall redevelopment of General Road, their illustrations is shown below. Combining the aforementioned elements, the general layout or proposed road is here presented. From the left, there should be a space to invite street activities such as small kiosks. Seating is also recommended for pedestrians with lane of trees as buffer. Next to it is the bicycle lane to add more safety and guidance to the public. Energy-efficient lighting and signals must be also added. After the designated parking area is the carriageway and bus lane. Waiting area or bus stop shelter is then placed next to it. There must also be a connection for walking networks as well inclusion of wayfinding structures. The third proposal is the redevelopment of open spaces such as the plaza and food court. As suggested by the respondents, Dinalupihan's plaza should be redeveloped to add more life. This can be greener by adding more trees and plants, more legible by providing the municipality's name, and more relaxing by inserting pergolas. The first two photos show the Aurora Park in Lawag, Aurora, Philippines. It is an open plaza similar to that of Dinalupihan's. The ground is finished with permeable pavings rather than concrete all throughout. There are also small gazebos and fountain as blue element. This park can be used as reference for the plaza's renovation.
Next is the development of the food court. The food court of Dinalupihan is underdeveloped as said. The allocated space for it can be utilized again to further maximize it, helping small business owners and adding revenue to the municipality. It can also encourage people to have quality time with their loved ones and friends by bonding and eating together. These photos are provided to visualize the proposal. Terminals also need a development. For the common terminal, Noriega Integrated Terminal Exchange can be used as reference. It has unique amenities and offerings such as bay lounges with shower rooms for passengers needing to freshen up after a long travel, comfortable breastfeeding area for mothers, a multi-faith meditation room for all, a gender-neutral bathroom, and leasable spaces. Services are also offered, such as ATMs, banks, and courier services, adapting the spaces and how it is planned. It can make Dinalupihan Common Terminal be fully utilized.
Pedicab terminals are recommended to be built as well in order to be more organized. This proposal helps the pedicab drivers to have their designated area and that they won't have to park anywhere anymore. It can also aid the people to where the mode of transportation is. It shall be constructed at proper locations so as not to block the carriageway. To come up with a common ground for Bataan's municipal hall design, it is proposed that the Nilapian's municipal hall exterior design be renovated to complement that of other municipalities. Moreover, the welcoming ambience can be reflected and that dignity of the government can best be portrayed through this solution.
Another proposal of our group is community garden. It can be created on private land or public land where citizens can grow fruits, find herb, flower, and mainly vegetable. This can benefit them by spending less on their food and resort to healthy choices. Social ties and belongingness can be generated, and this help in reducing crime, empowering residents, and permitting them to feel safe in their neighborhood. To address overflowing of water in rivers, protective barriers are proposed as well. River embankment defense are regularly upheld by artificial rebankment. Several cost-effective geosynthetic options exist that frame riverbanks, curtain erosion, and protective riverside and adjacent structure from destructive flow of velocity apparent in river during storm and floods.
For the last part, our conclusion and recommendation. With these proposals, where fundamentals of urban design and community architecture are applied, the proponents aim to make it into reality as this can aid in improving the municipality and consequently its people's way of living. It is recommended that further studies be conducted for additional proposals and that suggestions from the community be welcomed and taken into consideration, as future holds more opportunities for the province. Let us contribute for developments that can be good investments in the long run. This ends our presentation. Thank you very much.